Hi everyone, my name is Martin Rotomara. You're most welcome to the Achole traditional homestead, the African setting. Let me take you through the compound and to the hut. So this is the hut. It is made out of grass. This is grass, dry grass. It takes about 2 weeks to construct a hut like this. And this grass takes about 2 years, and then you definitely have to replace. But the walls can take about 10 years. So in every 2 years, you need to replace the grass, the roof, because this roof is also a habitat for some other animals like the rats. They also enjoy the roof, so they destroy the roof very fast. That's why in every 2 years, you need to replace. And even the rain and the weather also affects these grasses. So you need to replace like after every 2 years so that you are not affected by the rain. So it is made in such a way that it is very thick so that rain doesn't penetrate inside. Because if you don't put a lot of grass, rain can easily enter inside, and definitely you can't really have a nice stay inside the hut. So it is advisable to always make it very thick so that rain doesn't enter inside. Welcome to the Achole Mother's Kitchen. Let's get in and see what happens in our kitchen. Okay, here we have the pot. So in the Achole cultural home, we don't use the saucepans. We use the pot for cooking. So inside here, we have like beans. We can cook our beans. We can cook meat. Any food can be cooked using the pot. So we use the pot. We use the firewood for our cooking. So this is what we use in the Achole cultural home. And then we also have now another type of stove. This one uses charcoal. So if there's some charcoal, you put the charcoal. So you can be cooking a lot of things at the same time. And then we also have some very important tool. This one is used for lighting. It is instead of electricity or solar, this is what we use. It uses paraffin. Inside here we pour paraffin, and then you light. So this one helps us a source of light inside. So this is what we use for giving us light in a hut like this. Much as we are always very careful with it, because if you don't always be very careful, it can get to the roof, and then the whole hut can burn down. And then this is what we use for mingling. This is the mingling stick. It is made out of wood. We use this for mingling. And then this is where we keep our salt. So our salt is kept clean here. And then there's something also very important here. So this one is the salt. It is also a salt that we use. Some people use magadi, so it serves the same purpose as magadi. So it helps so much while cooking veggies, like the green vegetable, among others. So we use this one. This is also our locally made salt. And then when you look up here, you see there's some maize corn here. So this is how we preserve our maize corn for planting. So when you put it here, it is not affected by any pest. So in the actually African tradition, we store our seeds this way so that they are kept and nothing touches them until it is time for planting. And then we also keep some of our important seeds in this, the calabash. So it is also used for storage. So when you see here, we have jerry cans for harvesting water. And then up here, this is how we keep our hoes. These are hoes that we use for digging, for farming. So we keep our hoes up here, so they are safe. It doesn't fall, they're strong, everything is just okay. So briefly, this is what is always found in the actually traditional home. Now, in most cases, you also realize that there are some holes, though not in this hut, but they always put a hole inside the hut. The holes were used actually to help our mothers during menstruation period, because those days we had no pads, so they could dig a hole and put in some sand, so our mothers could use when they're cooking. But most cases currently we already have all those materials that they need, but those days when they used not to have it, they used to dig a hole. That's where they sit. So these children are pounding peanuts that will turn into peanut paste. So in the African setting, in the Acholi setting, we don't take our peanuts to the machine. We just pound, and then at the end of the day, we use for pasting our food. We'll be back from the kitchen, so you're most welcome now to the main house, which comprises of the living room and the bedroom. So welcome to the living room. Those days, they used to divide the rooms with walls. So they demarcate the living room and the bedroom with walls. That is before the curtains came. But nowadays, most people prefer to use the curtains, as it is simple and doesn't take building materials to separate the living room from the bedroom. That's why you can see there are also curtains on the walls to make decorations for the walls. So you'll also ask me that, what is the use of this pole? So this pole is used as support. It is supporting the roof so that the roof cannot fall down. So in the living room, you can see we have chairs for the visitors. So if the visitors come, they can comfortably sit on the chairs. This is now the modern type. Those days, they sit on the mats. When visitors come, they sit on the mats. But nowadays, because of the modernization, we already have chairs. So there are chairs where our visitors can sit. We have varieties of chairs where the visitors can sit. So inside the room is not cemented. We use the cow dung to make the floor look very nice. As you can see, the floor is very nice and is strictly made out of cow dung. No cement was applied here, no paint was applied here, and the house just smells so good. So let's get to the bedroom. We also see what's inside there briefly. So this is the bedroom. You can see the nets are properly tied. Now when you sit down here, you'll see a constructed bed. You can see this is a constructed bed. They just construct, they use the molds and the bricks to construct, and then they now place the mattresses on top. So we don't use the wooden beds, we don't use the metallic beds, we just construct. It is very simple and it is very cheap. So you now place your mattresses on and then everything just moves on. So you can see the nets are tied to the poles that were used for roofing this building. And then there's also some string here that helps for hanging like the bed sheets and some other clothes. So this is our bedroom. So welcome to our washroom. So this is our washroom. It's made of banana leaves. So we mostly use banana leaves. We also use the grasses to make a very nice washroom. And when you come inside the washroom, we have this stone I'm standing on. So this is where you stand when you want to bathe, so that you don't get dirty. So you put your basin here with the water and you bathe. And then after bathing, the water will get out through this hole that I've made to a soft pit outside there, so that inside the washroom is not flooded. So this is our latrine. It is also made out of grass. It looks like a small hut. So you might mistake it to a small hut, but this is our latrine. So it is made the same way the huts are made. So it looks good. We also use the same materials we use for making the bigger hut where people stay. It's the same material we use for making our latrine. So you're welcome to take a look at the inside of our latrine. So there's a hole inside where people squat and they ease themselves. And then when you look inside, you'll also see there's a broom. So that broom is used for sweeping, for making the interior of the latrine very clean. So when you see here, there's a big space between the hut and the bush, the grasses. Why is this one always done? This one is to avoid fire outbreak, because during dry seasons, all these grasses will get dry and they can easily catch fire. So we always make a very big space so that in case there's fire this side, it cannot reach the hut. So there's always a very big space between the hut and then the bush or the grasses around the home. Why are there some poles again outside? So there are two reasons why you see these poles. One, this one also acts as support for the roof. So it acts as support for the roof, and then animals are also tied on these poles at night, like the goats. They're always tied here so that they don't move. So the pole serves as support and helps also to tie the animals. So this is another very important stand where we put the dry firewoods. So when you look at this, you realize that the hut is giving some shade to the firewood. So in case there's a lot of rain, rain cannot get to the firewood. So even if it's a raining season, you are able to cook properly. So that's why they put this, so that they are guarded against rain. So this one shades the firewood so that it doesn't get wet. So even during wet season, you'll have no problem. Like right now, this firewood is dry, yet it rained heavily last night, but the firewood is dry and cooking will just continue, so there's no problem. So it helps a lot. So here is where we always have the fire camp. So here is the campfire where the elders always put this fire, and a lot of people gather around the fire. First of all, to get warm,
you know, when it is very cold, like right now it is very cold. So we put this fire so that we get some warmth within ourselves. And then the elders also use this to educate the children. That's why when you see here, we also have children that are gathered here. So they use the opportunity, because at this time, this thing is always done at night when there's no more work and people are just relaxing. So they use the opportunity to educate the children on how they should live, to educate everyone on the best way, the morals, how people should live. So it is really very important in the Acholi culture to have this. We call it Wang O, that it is everywhere in every family. So they always put this so that they use the opportunity to teach the children, to teach the mothers, to teach. Actually, they use this opportunity to share a lot. They also use this same fireplace to bring some announcement, if in case there's announcement, because everyone gathers. So they use the opportunity to announce if there's some activity that will happen. Maybe if in a week time there's going to be some ceremony, so they use the opportunity when people gather like this to pass out the announcements. Fire camp, fireplace like this is really very important in the Acholi culture, and people value it so much.